Hello and welcome to the AFL Riverina Football and Netball Show. I'm your host, Hannah Maguire. Well, what a magnificent weekend of local football it was. Two former AFL stars ripped up the turf for the Riverina and Farrer Leagues this weekend. Brendan Fevola kicked 7 for the Griffith Swans, while Michael O'Loughlin could only manage 2 for Mara in the annual Anzac clash against the Rock. But neither of these players could help their team to a victory. Prime 7 sports reporter Matt Kelly caught up with Mickey O before the big game on Friday.
I'm here with 300-game former superstar of the Sydney Swans, Michael O'Loughlin. Mickey O, what brings you to Wagga?
A game of footy.
Can you just explain to us your role at the AIS Academy?
Well, I'm the head coach, and basically I look after the best 18-year-olds in the country. There are 30 of them. They come from all over the country, as I mentioned, and my job's to mentor and to teach these guys what's required to play at the elite level. And we have some great mentors: Matthew Lloyd, Glenn Jakovich, Ty Kennelly, Brad Johnson, to name a couple, who have been instrumental in helping these young guys develop into elite footy players, and basically passing on their experience. If you're going to pass anything on, it's always been about effort for me, and no matter what your skill level, what your size, where you're from, you get out in the footy field, it's always been about the effort. And if you give a maximum effort, I think you can walk off the field pretty happy with your performance, whether you've kicked 10 or whether you've had one kick.
Thanks for talking to us, Mickey. Guys, it's back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Matt. And the crew from CSU caught up with Fev on Sunday. Here's what he had to say.
Speak with Brendan Fevola, Griffith Swans recruit for 2013. Brendan, have you enjoyed your arrival here at the club?
My arrival at the club's been good. Obviously, we had a good night last night. It's good to interact with the crowd, and all the kids are always behind the goals, and give them a few high fives here and there, have a chat, and cop a bit of grief and give it back. So that's the best thing about country footy, because you can interact with the fans, and you don't have to worry about what people think, and you can just do whatever you like. So it's always good, and hopefully today the ball stays down there a little bit so I can keep me occupied. Hopefully, it's a great ground out there. Hopefully the weather holds off, and we can have a good day.
Now, there were a few surprising results in the Farrer League this weekend, but no more surprising than the Northern Jets' 19-point victory over reigning premiers and arch rivals Temora. We're joined in the studio now with Jets assistant coach James Richards. James, it's been 4 years since you guys have conquered the Temora Roos. How did it feel on the weekend?
Yeah, it was good. As I said, it's been 3 years since I've started playing there, and I haven't got a win against them yet. And with them winning the flag last season, it was good to start off like that. Yeah,
and you guys are arch rivals. I guess that would have made the win even sweeter.
Yeah, we are arch rivals. It's just known that we're very close town, so a bit of rivalry there, and they've beaten up on us pretty bad the last couple of times, so it was good to get a win. Yeah,
it was a pretty physical, rough game on the weekend.
Yes, it was. Like the last couple have been, they've been very physical. They've come hard at us, but we've given it back in a weekend, so it was good.
Yeah, did you have any injuries? I know Andrew Baker,
he's hurt his knee. I'm not sure the extent of that, so I'm not sure if he's going to be out. We'll find out on Wednesday what he's done himself, but yeah.
All right, now were you confident going into this game?
We were confident in ourselves, knowing that if we did what we wanted to do, we'd get a decent result, whether it's a win or close or whatever. But and we always knew that they're going to be good, so but we were just more confident knowing that if we did what we wanted to do, that we could get a win.
Okay. Now, you've picked up quite a few new players. Do you think they have something to do with, how much you've improved this season?
Yeah, I think it's got a fair bit to do with them. We picked up 3 blokes from Canberra. 2 of them played with us last year, the last couple of games. Dane Keynes and Len Hadrill, and Declan O'Rourke's come over with them this year. Young boy Aaron Hart from Lake Agiliga, he's a very quick player, so he gives us a bit of run on the outside. And Nathan Hunter and John Hoey giving us a big tall option up forward. Nathan's from Cobar and John's from Tebby Park.
There were a few upsets in the other Farrer League matches at the weekend too. CSU got over East Wagga, while Colliambley beat North Wagga. James Richards from the Jets is back in this studio with us now to give all his tips for the Farrer League this week. Now, James, you guys, the Northern Jets, they play East Wagga out at the RAF base, which is something unusual. Yeah. Tell us why you're playing out there.
They've got an affiliation with the RAF base this year, so they're going to play a few games out there at their home games. So, yeah.
Okay, and how do the boys think they'll go this weekend?
Yeah, last week's win gave us a lot of confidence. So the boys are a bit sore after last week's game, obviously, but we know if we can, have another effort like that, we'll come away with the points.
Okay. The Rock versus CSU, who do you think will get the goods in this one?
Yeah, well, they both won last week, and the Rock probably, at home, probably get the points there, I think.
Okay. We've got North Wagga and Mara. This should be a bit of a close one, I'd say.
Yeah, it should be. Mara, a bit hard to gauge how they went. They had Mickey O in the team last week, but I think Mara might get the points over them. Okay.
And you played against tomorrow, so you know what they're all about. Do you think they can get over Colliambly, or...?
Yeah, Colliambly had a good win last week, but tomorrow I know they'll be fired up. They'll be disappointed with their effort last week, so I think over there they can get the points.
Okay, thanks for that, James. Now that was James Richards from the Jets with his tips this weekend for the Farrer League. Shane Buchanan from AFL Riverina joins us in the studio now to give us his tips on the RFL this weekend. Now, Shane, we've got a game against the struggling, I guess you could say, Tigers, which is quite unusual for them at this time of the season. They play Collingully this weekend. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, Hannah, they're playing in a Anzac commemorative game, which is a fantastic initiative. It'll be played on Thursday at Robertson Oval. It also coincides with Wagga Brothers and also Wagga Kangaroos playing there as well on the day. In regards to the game and how Wagga Tigers are travelling. At the moment, they're 0-2, which is odd for a club like that. We've had so much success in previous years. So I went and actually looked at the last half against Turvey Park last week. The club, the first grade team, they move the ball really well. There's no doubt about that, but they're breaking down up forward. So they'll need to look at some strategies about how to kick more goals and perhaps we look for their first win of the year. Collingully, they're obviously travelling very well at the moment. They've been in really good form, and Mark Eppert up forward has been a real focal point for them. Kicked 5 and 7 the last 2 weeks, and no doubt again he'll be their key player again for them. Looking for a win in this particular match. Wagga Tigers, they're desperate. They've got to get a win if they're going to play finals at the back end of the season. Collingully, well, they're playing with confidence at the moment. 1-1, lost to Gamay in the first round, but played really well. So I'm expecting a really close game here, but I think Collingully may get over Wagga Tigers. Their form perhaps is a little bit better than Tigers at the moment.
Yeah, Turvey Park, they got over Tigers on the weekend, which was good for them with their reunion on. They play Ganmain this weekend. What do you think about that game?
Well, it's a really good game as well. Like their arch rivals, Ganmain and Turvey Park, they've had some good games over the years and been both really successful clubs. Turvey Park had a bad year last year, but very good to see that they won on the weekend in front of a big crowd that was there. So, look, Ganmain's form's been really good. I mean, they've won 2 games. They've been playing really well. Turvey Park last week, as I said, I watched that game. Tom Marlowe's a big key forward. He played well. He's a very strong mark. They'll be looking for more goals though out of Tom. He kicked 2 or 3 last week. They'll be looking maybe for 5s and 6 out of him. And looking for a win of that particular match. I think the Lions may get over the Bulldogs in that particular match. Okay,
now Griffith, they'll find it hard without Fev this weekend. They line up against the reigning premiers Narrandera. What do you think?
Yeah, good point. I think I'm looking at Griffiths, how many goals he's been kicking. Hannah last week, Fevola kicked 7. I think 7 out of their 13 goals. The week before, I think Griffiths' major goal kicker was small Chrissy Duncan. He's only a small little player, cheeky little fella, but he can play really well. So they like Wagga Tigers, probably need to find someone to be a major kicker, a goal kicker for them. Looking at this particular match, Narrandera, their form's been a bit up and down, I suppose, starting off the season, 1-1. Look, it's a 50-50 game going to this one. I think Narrandera may get over Griffith. Probably a bit more experience around the ground and probably more avenues to goal as well with Narrandera.
And the last match we have to talk about is Mango and Coolaman.
Yeah, it should be a really good game. Mangapla celebrating 100 years with their club, which is a fantastic effort, and all the best to the club over the weekend celebrating 100 years. They'll go into this game, I think, with a fair bit of confidence. They pushed Ganmain last week. Coolaman, they won their first game against Tigers East and had the bye, so they've probably rested up in preparation for this game. Looking for a winner here. I'm going to go with Mangapla, celebrating 100 years, Hannah. I think the club will be pumped up for it. They'll have a massive crowd back for the 100 years, so I think they might raise the occasion and get over top of the Grasshoppers.
Okay, and Leeton, of course, had the bye. That was Shane Buchanan from AFL Riverina there. Well, that's all we have time for today, but be sure to join us again next week for all the tips and highlights. Find us online at aflriverina.com.au. See you then.